Hello, my name is Dario Romero, and in this video we'll be talking about the form I-751, the petition to remove the conditions on your green card. So let's talk about a quick overview as to what this video will contain. We will talk about the application, what the application is for, what to expect. We're also going to address what type of evidence you need to submit with this application. We will talk about different scenarios, like for example, if you're married, or if you're married but you're separated, or if you're divorced or about to get divorced. Also, we will talk about if you have any new criminal convictions that you didn't have at the time you became a resident. Also, automatic extensions and other common questions. So what is this application and what can you expect? So the purpose of the application is because you received a conditional green card, meaning that you have a green card for 2 years. The reason why immigration does the 2-year green card is that when you got married to a U.S. citizen or a resident and your approval of your green card came before your 2-year anniversary, immigration will give you the conditional green card. Basically, it's saying, okay, we believe that your marriage is legitimate, but because you've been married for less than 2 years, you have to come back within 2 years and show that you're still married, or if you're divorced, that you enter the marriage in good faith. So here, immigration doesn't look at how long the relationship has been. It's just the fact that you were married for less than 2 years at the time of approval. So who should file? The person that is the green card holder that has a conditional residency. So what form do you need? The form is a I-751. When should you file this application? There's going to be a 90-day window before your card expires. If you send in more than the 90 days, then your application might get rejected because you filed it too early. There's another exception I'll address a little bit later. Also, do not file the I-90. Let me repeat that again. Do not file the I-90. This is a very common mistake when people say, okay, my green card is about to expire, so I'll ask for a new one, and they file for an I-90. That is the wrong form. It will get rejected, and you will possibly run out of time on your I-751. So how long does this application take? Right now it's all over the place. It can take anywhere from 12 months to 24 months. Right now, I'm seeing about 15, 16 months. But it's give or take with immigration. It goes up and down with the processing time. So let's talk about the evidence that is required. So there are two filing. The filing fees are $5.95 plus an $85 fingerprint biometrics fee. Right now, there's a new change. They're asking for you to submit the two fees separately. Normally, we would do one check for both, but for some reason, immigration's recently asking for two checks because they're switching to an online or a virtual process. Also, you need to send a copy of your green card, your conditional residency card. So what evidence do you need to submit? So it's all about the marriage. It's not just at the time that you got your green card. Immigration usually wants to see, okay, well, what happened after you became a conditional resident? Did you still live with your spouse? Do you guys have kids? Do you guys have a home? Those are the biggest type of evidence you can submit. Also, I like to submit pictures of major events, not so much of a couple just cuddling or anything like that. For example, major holidays, trips. Sometimes if you don't have a joint bank account, that's fine. But what if you transfer money through Zelle or some other type of service? I would take screenshots of that because that's evidence. Also, when another idea, when you're traveling, if you travel by plane, there should be plane tickets. Sometimes you can even use affidavits from friends and family. And in the description below, I have included a template that you can download for free that you can use in your application if you're going to file this by yourself. So, best case scenario, if you're still married to the person that you got your conditional green card through, that is the best. You just have to submit evidence that you guys are still together. What has happened since you became a green card holder, that you guys have children, you guys even pets, anything that you can show immigration. I tell my clients not to submit the same evidence that they filed with the original application. So I like to say, okay, what else happened? So it's kind of hard because each couple, there could be different evidence. So start thinking. On the previous slide, I gave examples of what I like to ask for my clients. Okay, so this can be, this is where it starts getting a little more complicated. So what if you're separated, but you're still married? My next question is, has there been any domestic abuse or violence or manipulation, or you're just not seeing eye to eye? So it's one of the things that, depending on if the couple is getting back together or if they're still trying to fix a relationship or they're still helping each other out, then the U.S. citizen, the U.S. Resident, they can still sign the application as long as you guys are trying to fix the relationship. If you guys are not in talking terms, there has been significant abuse or anything like that, then you can send the application. What I tell my clients that they can sign and send the application without the signature of the U.S. citizen or resident, but then I recommend that they contact a family law attorney to start the divorce proceedings. And again, it's one of those things that's hard to advise, but it depends on the facts of the case. It depends on the relationship between the people, because if they're not together or they're not willing to help, or they don't trust them, then I say, you know what, talk about divorce, and if you do get divorced, do it as soon as possible. So if you are divorced already, the judge has already officially signed a divorce decree, then you can still remove the conditions on your green card. All you have to show is that you enter the marriage in good faith, and that's a very generic term. So let's go one by one. So the divorce must be final at the time of the interview. And as I say, at the time of the interview, because what if you file for divorce and you file the petition to remove your conditions? That is fine. And if you get your divorce decree, I would send it directly to USCIS. That way you have record. Always send everything via certified mail, so you have proof that you mailed it. Also know that there is no such thing as an ideal marriage. Every relationship is different. There is no standard. It really depends on the person. So what evidence should you submit to show that you enter the marriage in good faith? One, what if you guys have children in common? Then that's evidence, number one. If there has been marital issues, you guys have gone to counseling, evidence of that can be great. Or what if there was abuse or like domestic violence? Then you can show pictures of, let's say, if you have bruises or if you have horrible text messages or emails or stuff that shows the officer, look, this is the reason why we're not together, and this is the reason why I had to file for divorce. Or you can even use text messages that talk about why you guys broke up or why you guys separated. So that can be a lot of help to the officer. Okay, that makes sense. For example, if someone that they got married, they got their green card, and shortly after the green card came, they're no longer together and filed divorce, that's going to be a harder case, because it matters as to the why it happened and why did it happen so quick. So in situations where people are getting divorced or thinking about divorce or separate, I highly recommend getting an attorney, because there's a little bit of more strategy that goes in preparing these cases. And for cases that you are divorced, and there most likely will be an interview, and this is where it depends. If your partner, your ex-partner, is you guys aren't talking terms, sometimes they could provide a statement. That'll be ideal, but if it's not possible, then that's fine. We can look for other types of evidence that shows as to why the marriage broke down or the attempts you did to try to salvage the marriage. Also, if you had any arrests from the time that you became a green card holder to the moment that you file your removal of conditions, you have to disclose it. If there's serious crimes such as anything that involves fraud, theft, violence, assault, drug possession, contact an attorney, because there are certain crimes that can make you deportable. There's other crimes that do not. So if you have any criminal history, again, contact an attorney. Things that are not so serious, for example, civil or criminal tickets, like in the traffic tickets, you still have to disclose them, but I wouldn't stress too much about it. So here's one of the common questions, the automatic extensions. So now there is an automatic extension for 24 months. When you file your application, immigration will send you a receipt notice, which is on a green paper, and that says that along with your card, even if it's expired, you will receive a 24-month extension. So with that, you can still renew your driver's license, you can still present that to your employer, you can still travel. So you can still travel outside of the United States as long as you have both the card and the receipt. What if the 24 months is getting pretty close and you need to get another extension? Then you just call USCIS, and their phone number is on the screen, and usually they'll schedule you to go to the nearest USCIS office, and they'll give you some type of extension. As I mentioned, just use your original receipt notice to renew your driver's license or present it to work. Yes, you can still travel. Okay, so let's see, if you did apply for the removal of conditions but your card already expired, what is next? Then you should get an attorney, because you have to give an explanation as to why you didn't file in time. Because if you don't file within those 90 days and your conditional green card expires, there is a high possibility that your case can get referred over to the immigration judge or court. So that's why I say it's very important to contact an attorney, because one, you have to verify if you're removal proceedings, and two, then we can try to still submit the application, but we have to give an explanation why you did not submit your application in time. And sometimes it's because there could be a good faith mistake, or you filed the wrong application, such as at I-90, which has happened to many of my clients. So contact an attorney to come up with a good game plan. So in a nutshell, that's how the whole process of the I-751 works. I wish you luck on your removal conditions. If you believe you need an attorney, or you just feel safer, contact an attorney in your area. Thank you guys. I hope you have a nice day. Bye.